And welcome back to TVB News. The disappearance of the Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 has prompted aviation experts to demand real-time trackers to be fitted on all passenger aircraft. As Sonia Artero reports, Malaysia's Prime Minister will head to Australia to witness ongoing search efforts in the Indian Ocean.
It was a busy day at the airport in Perth, where 11 planes are working to solve the aching mystery of where flight MH370 vanished. Even with additional help of 9 ships, search coordinators warn the hunt could drag on for a very long time.
Essentially, we do not have any precision in where the aircraft entered the water.
Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak plans to travel to Perth tomorrow to inspect search operations firsthand. More than 3 weeks into the hunt, and not one of dozens of objects found in the Indian Ocean is linked to the missing plane. Equally disconcerting is the revelation that Malaysian officials misreported final communications from the cockpit. They said the co-pilot uttered the words, "All right, good night," when in fact his exact words were, "Good night, Malaysian 370, which experts say is the standard sign-off. This aviation expert says you have to wonder why Malaysian authorities are not telling the truth.
And unfortunately, this just gives the families of those, the families of the victims, more evidence that things are being hidden from them, if you like.
Hiding critical investigation details was painfully obvious at today's International Air Transport Association conference in Kuala Lumpur.
The last download of the aircraft was at 1:07 in the morning as it passed through the peninsula of Malaysia. I'm sorry, is there any media here? Can I ask the media to stay out, please?
But the conference did vow to ensure trackers are fitted on all passenger aircraft.
Cannot let another aircraft simply disappear.
Given the plane's course and altitude changes, experts insist it's an obvious case of sabotage.
It has to be human intervention. Who that human was, we just don't know. We may never know. But I absolutely believe it has to be human intervention.
Malaysian authorities concur, but with no black box, no red flags, and no motive by any crew or passengers, this mystery continues to haunt the masses. Sonia Artero, TVB News.
Well, Russia says it's pulling back a battalion of several hundred troops from the Ukrainian border, prompting a cautious Western response. This comes as Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev flaunted Moscow's grip on Crimea by flying to the region's capital to hold a government meeting there.
At Monday's meeting, Medvedev announced that Russia would quickly boost salaries and pensions in Crimea and pour in resources to improve education, healthcare, and infrastructure. At the same time, Russian natural gas producer Gazprom announced a 40% increase in gas prices for Ukraine, stepping up economic pressure on Kiev in its political standoff with Moscow. In another move that tightens its grip on the region in defiance of the West, Russian military hardware started to arrive in Crimea Monday. 10 modern tanks were brought in by train to a station just 30 kilometers from the Crimean capital Simferopol. This Russian general said they'll replace Ukrainian military hardware still there, which he described as in serious need of repair. Meanwhile, Russia says it's withdrawing a battalion of about 500 troops from its border with Ukraine, something the United States says is necessary to resolve the East-West standoff over the country. The U.S. reaction was cautious, with Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel noting that tens of thousands of Russian forces remain along the Ukrainian border. To keep its influence over the east and south of Ukraine, Russia has pushed for the country to become a federation where individual regions would have broad powers. Western leaders insist it's up to Ukrainians to determine the structure of their government, not Moscow. The foreign ministers of Germany, France, and Poland, meeting in Weimar, Germany, called for an international conference that would include Russia to discuss the situation in Ukraine. The meeting would be used to discuss political reform and technical aid for the country. Alan Booknia, TVB News.
And back locally, it's the start of the new financial year, and it's also the day certain fees and charges are going up. Jenny Lam takes a look.
Passengers of 3 ferry routes have to pay more from today. Round-trip fares between North Point and Hung Hom and between North Point and Kowloon City on board New World First Ferry now costs $6.50 instead of $5.50, and an extra 50 cents for seniors and children. Single journeys cost $3.30. The average increase is 15.4%. Fares for the Central Mui Wo route are going up by 5.7%, $15.20 for weekday economy tickets for adults, and $29.90 for the express service. On weekends and holidays, the new fare for the express service is $42.90. As for the MTR, a 10% discount for return trips on the same day ended yesterday, so expect a full fare from today. Rents for more than 32,000 units at 20 estates run by the Housing Society are going up by 8%. The average rent is now $1,600. After the hike, 75% of the household will pay an extra of no more than $150 a month. This new rent level will remain unchanged for 2 years. And sewage charges are going up by 9% from today, from $2.05 per cubic metre to $2.24. Jenny Lam, TVB News.
Well, traffic is finally back to normal after a part of Mao Tai Wai Road caved in near Hung Hom this afternoon, causing serious traffic congestion. The northbound lane towards Kowloon City was closed to traffic as workers carried out repairs. A hole approximately 3 metres wide appeared at around 4 p.m. near construction site for the Sha Tin to Central rail link. Repair work was finished at around 7:15 p.m.
The government has not ruled out sponsoring a poll during the second round of consultation on political reform to get a better sense of where public opinion stands. Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Raymond Tam admitted the possibility today after legislators grilled him on the growing price tag of the consultation process. Joao Da Silva reports.
$580 million. That's how much is allocated to the Mainland and Constitutional Affairs Bureau in the 2014-2015 budget bill, a 17% hike over the previous year. After facing legislators on day 2 of the Finance Committee's budget discussion, Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Raymond Tam explained where the money is going to.
Here we are conducting a very important consultation on our constitutional development. So it is only fair and necessary for us to inject more public funds into this area. And I hope that by doing so, the public would be interested.
But some legislators don't think the consultation is being conducted in an effective manner. The Civic Party's Kenneth Chen suggested conducting debates and opinion polls rather than handing out souvenirs.
What will attract the people is genuine universal suffrage and also a mechanism for civic nomination. It is important that you have opinion polls. I think it will surely be more effective than handing out 10,000 pens.
In his reply, Tam did not rule out sponsoring a public poll during the consultation's second round. From the pro-government camp, unionist Wong Kwok Hing gave the example of recent events in Taiwan to highlight the importance of telling the public what, in his view, is or isn't permitted under the Basic Law.
Recently, students occupied the legislature yuan in Taiwan and also attacked their executive yuan. And wrong message, you see, can influence people if you breach the law or breach the constitution, it is now called universal values or international standards. There's wrong concepts.
Up to yesterday, the government had received around 120,000 views on political reform. João da Silva, TVB News.
All right, Tony, anything exciting in sports today?
Lots of things to talk about. Champions League resumes tonight with some special players in action too. Atletico Madrid and Barcelona square off in the Champions League, with the two clubs also battling for the Spanish domestic title. And others in action tonight are Manchester United and Bayern Munich, with the English champions facing the daunting prospect of trying to stop one of the strongest teams in Europe.
And that's it from us. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Good evening. It was cloudy with showers and a few squally thunderstorms today. At 5 p.m., a trough of low pressure brought thundery showers to the coastal areas of Guangdong. And up to 5 p.m., today's temperatures ranged from 20 to 20.9 degrees, and the current temperature is now standing at 20 degrees Celsius. 5.7 millimeters of rain has been recorded since midnight. So, Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow? Cloudy with a few showers and thunderstorms again tomorrow. Temperatures will range from 19 to 22 degrees. It'll be rainy on Thursday, then brighter in the following few days. Tomorrow morning's air quality health index will range from low to moderate, and the maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 3. And now to the latest global weather update. Cloudy in Shanghai, rain in Taipei, showers in Xiamen. Rain in Guangzhou, cloudy in Chengdu. Cloudy in Beijing, Seoul, and Tokyo. Bright in Bangkok and Manila, showers in Ho Chi Minh City. Thunderstorms in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore, rain in Jakarta. Bright in New Delhi, sunny in Mumbai. Showers in Cairo, bright in Nairobi. Bright in Brisbane, Sydney, and Auckland. Cloudy in Toronto, rain in New York. Sunny in Vancouver, showers in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Cloudy in London, bright in Amsterdam and Frankfurt. And that's weather. Have a lovely evening.